Alert is the movie I'm reviewing today, and this movie is produced by Okey Bakassi. The movie is directed by Ake Alozobi, and this movie is on Prime Video. Alert has a lot of actors in it. Uzor Arukwe, we have Okey Bakassi himself, we have the legendary Kanayo. Then we also have Henshaw. We also have Bolanle in this movie, and of course other prominent actors as well. Recap of this movie is a man who lost his job due to the fact that he was trying to expose his company who was defrauding customers. After losing the case in court, his lawyer advised him to give up the fight on the cause that you live to fight another day. To be a whistleblower, you need to have a backup plan while at it. So life became very hard for him and his family. They kind of endured the hardship for long. Sammy did everything to make his life back on track, but all failed on attempts. So he now decided to go for a loan in the bank. This advice was from his friend lawyer Uche. That lawyer Uche being played by Kanayo in this movie. So once in the bank trying to explain himself why he needed a loan, he activated his dormant account. While in this process, Modetus also had a transaction to place a money transfer into dormant account. So the banker used one of the dormant account, which happens to be Sammy's account. Unknown to this banker, that account has been reactivated. He met the bank manager. You can't have this loan. So he was being bundled out of the bank. While being bundled out, the bank manager decided to just check his account if he even have sufficient, or even if there is any amount at all in this dormant account. To his optimal surprise, he saw 500 million naira in the account. So he quickly went back for Sammy, called him back and told him, look, you don't even need a loan because you have 500 million naira in your account. This came as a shock to Sammy. In fact, he was in the bank for a loan. So where from this money? Well, that did not click. He immediately told the bank manager to transfer some of this money to his other account. He quickly went home. When he got home, his wife and kids have left him. Sammy went back to his friend lawyer Uche to explain everything that happened. Lawyer Uche, on the other hand, was really happy. He said this is criminal, but of course let's enjoy the money while at it. The banker who did the transfer knew who Sammy was, so he informed Modetus about this incident. So Modetus and his boys were looking for Sammy. They found out who he was and where he is. They tried to grab him, but Sammy went to his cousin Janta. Janta happens to one of those leaders in a gang who protects the neighborhood. Sammy went to his cousin for protection so that he could use that period of time to use the money he got for cryptocurrency. While at this, Modetus got hold of lawyer Uche. Lawyer Uche called Sammy to alert him that he needs to protect his family. While in this process, that was too late. Modetus kidnapped Sammy's daughter so he could lure Sammy in and get his money back. Sammy then went back home, went to his in-law, apologized to his in-law, apologized to the wife as well, and explained the whole situation, how he got the money and everything, and they tried ways and means to get his daughter back. Jade's father is a soldier, so that made it quite easy. So Sammy's cousin Jata, who is also a leader of the area gang, they did whatever they had to do, and Sammy met Modetus gave his money back to him. The money was not complete because they had a deal where Sammy negotiated 10% of that 5 million naira. He got his money all right. Instead of letting Sammy go, he wanted to finish him off, and that was not a pretty good look at all. So that was a recap of this movie. What I like about this movie, I like a lot about this movie so much. Kindly do subscribe to this channel. I do movie reviews based on how the movie make me feel. I also talk about relationships and talk about personal stuff and also trending, interesting life stories. So do subscribe to the channel. The storyline is so interesting. It has a lot of message in it. I mean, you can decide how to look at it. First of all, I like the message of trying to be a good person all the time. Like Bobrisky would say, good girl no dey pay. Exactly. He tried to be a good person by protecting customers, ended up losing his job and losing his family. Doing good always pays, whether you believe it or not. Endurance take in it in terms of Jade and Sammy together. It has a message of forgiving. The wife forgave him. That was also a very good take in there. I also love the cast of this movie, diverse cast, and I also love the ethnicity. They try to blend in two tribes, Yoruba and the Igbo tribe together. That was really a very good one in there as well. And I also love the acting. Everyone in this movie brought in their AK. Everybody was acting below as I expected. Everybody was acting the way they should act. Everybody was actually in character. But my special shout outs to Kate Henshaw. She was so immersed in the character. She was very emotional. I love that character so much. And also my other favorite character is Kanayo. He brought in the comic part of this movie, the sarcastic comedy. If you understand sarcastic comedy, you are going to enjoy Kanayo in this movie. He was the comic relief in this movie. So yes, this movie had comic side to it. I love Kanayo. All his scenes were hilarious for me. If you guys notice in my videos, I always say that I love a movie that has a split or a seconds of comedy in it. So this movie was one of it. So yeah, shout outs to Kanayo and shout outs to Kate Henshaw. Then what I also love is cinematography. Guys, this movie has a lot of locations. They showed us when he was poor, where he was living, the hood. This movie had everything. The cinematography, even Jante's locations were so perfect. The circle wildfire performance was good. The dimming lights in that scene, I love it so much. They make you feel the movie. You get what I mean? So another location that I love very much is the bank scene. It's make-believe, but you could feel there were a lot of people. Everybody was doing their thing. It's not one scene that you can concentrate on. You can see that another tailor is doing something whilst he was in the bank. The other guy is, processing the bank. Like so many things, good scenes going on at the same time. So I love that. There was club in there, there was restaurant, you name it. There was no imagination in this movie. Everything they talk about, you can see it happening in the movie. So cinematography, I love it. The acting, directing, I love it. So yeah, those are the things I love about this movie. Moving to what I don't like. First off, let me start with the fighting scene. The fighting scene, guys. Fighting scene was not believable. It was looking, I don't want to say cartoonish, but it was looking so. They try as much as possible to make it real, but it ended up being too fake. I don't know how to put this in words, but the fighting scene was bad. It was bad. The shooting, the kicking, everything about the fighting scene was just bad. And another thing I don't like about this movie is the costume. I don't know, the costume was not looking good on all of them. Well, except Jade's sister. She was single, she was living her life, so her costume was good. But Jade's costume, I don't know. Everything about Jade's costume was not looking good. The costume about this set was not pleasing for me. They look dull. Everybody looked like they were struggling in this movie. Even those who were supposed to be looking good were struggling. I don't know what was going on with the costume, but yes. And I think these are the only two things that I don't like. The fighting scene was just not it at all for me, and I wasn't feeling it at all. I knew the movie has ended, so I just had to watch that scene. The scene was not it. He could have just been arrested. No, the arresting card has been overplayed. The fighting scene was just bad for me. But on that note, guys, I'm going to give this movie a 8. Yes, and I would definitely recommend this movie for you, and you can watch this movie with family and friends. You can also watch this movie with children. It has no sexual whatever in it. It has no, well, maybe the violence part, maybe the fighting scene, but yeah, you can watch this movie with family, friends and children. Kindly do subscribe to this channel. I do movie reviews and talk about relationships, life lessons, personal stuff, and of course also other trending, interesting life stories. Please do subscribe to this channel in Hood TV.